How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new video. And today we are going to be discussing what SEGA should do with Sonic Unleashed Wii and PS2 versions. And trust me, on my last video of why SEGA should port Sonic Unleashed to PC, I've seen your guys' comments, trust me, about Sonic Unleashed Wii and PS2. Personally, I actually enjoy Sonic Unleashed Wii quite a bit, and in some aspects I kinda like it better than the PS3/Xbox 360 versions of the game. So trust me guys, I didn't forget about Sonic Unleashed Wii, which is why we're here today to talk about it. If you don't know much about Sonic Unleashed Wii, there's some background information. It came out actually around the same time, November 18th in 2008. And it actually wasn't really developed by Sonic Team all the way. Dimps had a big part in developing this game. If you don't know who Dimps are, they developed the Sonic Advance games as well as Rush and almost all of the handheld games in general. Dimps has almost always handled the smaller scale size projects for SEGA, honestly. And if you don't know, the very unique thing about Sonic Unleashed Wii and PS2 is that they're almost completely different games from the 360 and PS3 versions. When it comes down to the stages, the format, even some of the locations don't look quite the same as they do in the other games. It's almost like it's just an extension or alternate reality version of Sonic Unleashed, because it's not the same and it doesn't really play exactly the same either. The Werehog has slightly different controls. Sonic's boost isn't a button that you hold down, rather it's a button that you press once and it uses 1 bar of boost. And going through the level and doing tricks and getting things actually upgrades your boost bar, which allows you to boost even more. The game is very, very different, and I think a lot of people have different experiences when it comes to Sonic Unleashed because of these two versions of the game. And I think both versions are very, very good, and I still think the game holds up today. And it doesn't really look the greatest, but I still think the music and the gameplay still is just amazing. And because this game is a different game, it has a slightly higher review score than the other versions of the game, which is kind of funny. But personally, I still enjoy the daytime stages way more in the HD versions of Sonic Unleashed, whereas in the Wii versions I actually enjoy the Werehog stages way more, to the point where I just actually kind of love it in Sonic Unleashed Wii. I think Sonic Unleashed Wii handles the Werehog way better because the stages are shorter, because you can digest it a bit better, because some Werehog stages just end up being too long in the HD version in my own opinion. And for example, Eggman Land is split up into different acts because that's how the game is structured, so having to do a 30-minute stage I think isn't as fun when you can just play each act and then take a break when you need to. And because of this, I still want to see Unleashed Wii get some love too, and I would love to see it ported. But how exactly should we go about this, and what exactly should SEGA do with Sonic Unleashed Wii/PS2? Let's explore our options. Option number 1, straight port to PC. Now I think it'd be perfect to just plop it on PC as well, kind of like how we talked about for Sonic Unleashed HD, and I think it would be really easy port, probably, because it doesn't seem like a game like that would be hard to port to PC unless somebody in the comments can tell me I'm wrong. And I think it'd be the same case with Sonic Unleashed HD. If that came to PC, the modding community would be really big. I think one advantage about Unleashed Wii though is you can actually play it through the Dolphin emulator, which the footage you see on screen is how I'm playing the game. And I'm playing the game with a 60 FPS enhancement, which, you know, allows the game to be in 60 FPS. The only downside on it on Dolphin is that it causes the game to have some issues with bosses, and the Werehog can't run sometimes. So in the footage you see, you may see me try to run and it may not work out the way I wanted to. And I believe it's been like that for a very long time on Dolphin. So having a port of this game on PC and a higher frame rate would be way better, and I think it's something a lot of people would enjoy. But those are the pros of having this on PC. I think there's some cons that come with it as well. I think realistically it would never ever come to PC because we do have the HD version, and if this came to PC and the HD version didn't, that would cause some problems in the community. And on top of that, I think SEGA would be less likely to put both versions on PC and expect the consumer to pick one, because they did do that back in the day, but at the same time, it's almost kind of like making an HD version of the game and then having a 3DS version nowadays, which is basically kind of different, I think, when it comes to putting the same thing on the same platform. I'm not saying it won't happen. We've seen weird stuff like this before. If you ever heard of Final Fantasy 15, that game came out on all consoles and PC, and then then they made a mobile version of the game called Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, and they ended up putting it on the Nintendo Switch, and they ended up putting it on the PlayStation 4 as well. So yeah, I've seen two different versions of the same game end up on the same platform. And, you know, it's not that weird, but I just don't see it happening in the future. So here's where we have option 2. Now, option 2 is a thing I could really see it happening, and it would just be porting the game straight to Switch. The Nintendo Switch, I think, is a perfect console for stuff like this because I don't think it can really handle Sonic Unleashed HD like that unless it gets downgraded, because it can hardly run on the platforms that it was meant for. And the Switch isn't that much stronger. It's no PlayStation 4. It's more of an in-between of a PlayStation 4 and a PlayStation 3. But with that said, it would make a lot of sense if they decide to port Unleashed, and then they put Unleashed Wii on the Switch, and then put Unleashed HD on the PS4, PS5, Xbox, and the PC. I think it would make a lot of sense, and it'd almost be like how it was back in the day. If you want to play the Wii version, you play the Switch. You want to play the other versions, you play the other consoles or PC. The only thing is you just wouldn't have accessible mod support. You would probably have to hack your Switch, and that's some crazy stuff because I'm not messing with a Nintendo. And I think this option by far is the best option for Sonic Unleashed Wii, for it to exist again as a re-release. But option 3 is something that may be unrealistic, but I think it's going to be fun to talk about nonetheless. Option 3 would be a full-on remaster of Sonic Unleashed Wii. By this, I mean make the game in HD natively, upgrade the textures, upgrade the models, and I already know what you guys are thinking, but we already have an HD version of Sonic Unleashed. Yes, but these games at the end of the day still are different, still play different, and have completely different level design. So putting the game on PC and upgrading its visuals just to upgrade the textures and make the game more clear so you can actually see better what's going on, I don't think would be ruining the legacy of Sonic Unleashed on PS3 and Xbox 360 whatsoever. You just get to play the version you like on PC that is in better quality. Now, like I said, I think this is the most unrealistic option that Sega would choose, but if they chose to do something like this, I think it'd be really great. I think going forward, now that we have the Sonic Adventure remake rumors and stuff may be getting remastered or remade, I feel like Sega should go on ahead and do this with a lot of their older games that will probably never see the light of day unless they do so. I think this would be a great thing to see, and it would be very weird to see as well, probably to the community, because not that many people like this version more than the HD version, because maybe people just grew up with the HD version more than people grew up with the Wii version. But nonetheless, I still think it's really cool that both versions exist, and you get two separate experiences when it comes to Sonic Unleashed, and I think that's really a cool thing to have. And you can't really say that about many games, that, oh, we have this version I also like, and this version I also like. And I think it's really cool to see stuff like that. Or you could be someone like me where the daytime stages in the HD version is like amazing, but you don't really like the Werehog, but in the other version you like the Werehog. And I think honestly, this might be a controversial take, I think Sonic Unleashed Wii is probably a better game overall due to it being more consistent, because I think the Werehog's just better in that game. So I think it's overall a better game, but where Sonic Unleashed HD shines is the daytime stages, and for me personally, it carries that game on its back for me. So even though they're separate games, I look at their halves and bring them together as one, and that's the Sonic Unleashed I like, and it's in both of these games. Let me know how you guys feel about Sonic Unleashed Wii, and what should they do with it if they were to port it or remaster it or whatever. But let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like button and hit the subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.